Do you feel like your English vocabulary is stuck? Like you're always using the same words over and over again? Today, we're going to break that cycle and help you speak English with more variety and confidence.
Welcome to the Speak English podcast. I'm Sarah.
And I'm David. In each episode, we give you practical tips to speak better English. And today's episode is all about vocabulary, specifically, the words that can instantly boost the way you sound when speaking English.
That's right. The words we'll share with you today are powerful alternatives to the basic vocabulary many learners get stuck using. You'll sound more fluent, more natural, and more confident.
The best part? You can start using these words today. So stay with us until the end, because we'll also share how to practice them effectively.
And if you're serious about improving your English, don't forget to subscribe and like this video. It really helps our channel and allows us to keep bringing you useful content like this.
When we say certain words will boost your vocabulary, we're not just talking about fancy or complex terms. We're focusing on everyday English words that are more expressive and impactful than the ones most learners default to.
Many English learners fall into the habit of overusing basic words like very, good, or bad. While these words aren't wrong, they don't help you express yourself clearly or powerfully in most situations.
Instead of memorizing endless lists of advanced vocabulary, the key is to upgrade the words you already use. Replace weak words with stronger alternatives that instantly elevate your speech and writing.
For example, when you stop saying very happy and start saying thrilled or delighted, you not only sound more fluent, but also more natural, just like native speakers do in real conversations.
This technique works because it builds on your existing vocabulary. You're not learning completely new concepts. You're simply improving the way you communicate by using more precise and expressive words.
And what's great about this is that it makes a noticeable difference right away. You don't need years of study to apply this. Just a handful of better words, used correctly, can change how people perceive your English.
We'll be showing you a list of specific words that are easy to understand and fun to use. These words are commonly used in everyday English, and when you master them, your vocabulary naturally expands.
So think of it like upgrading your English toolbox. You're not just adding new tools, you're replacing the weak, worn-out ones with stronger, sharper tools that help you express your ideas more clearly and effectively.
And don't worry, we're not giving you a boring vocabulary list. Each word comes with real-life context and examples, so you'll know exactly when and how to use them. No memorizing, just learning by doing.
In the next section, we'll demonstrate how these words work in real conversations. You'll hear the difference they make and how just changing a single word can take your English to the next level. So let's jump in.
Now it's time to show you the real power of this technique. We're going to give you 10 specific words that will instantly boost your vocabulary and make your English sound more fluent and natural.
These aren't rare or complicated words. They're simple, effective, and very commonly used by native speakers in daily conversations. Let's go through them one by one.
1. Huge. Instead of saying very big, say huge. It's quick, easy, and sounds much more fluent.
Example: they live in a huge house. It sounds much more natural than saying, they live in a very big house.
2. Tiny. Instead of very small, try tiny.
Example: look at that tiny puppy. Again, you avoid the word very, and your English sounds more expressive.
3. Amazing. Replace very good with amazing. It's full of emotion and sounds much stronger.
Example: that movie was amazing. You'll hear native speakers say this all the time.
4. Awful. A great alternative to very bad. It adds feeling to what you're saying.
Example: the weather today is awful. It gives a clearer picture than just saying very bad.
5. Exhausted. This word replaces very tired.
Example: I'm exhausted after that long meeting. You sound fluent and natural.
6. Delicious. Say this instead of very tasty.
Example, this cake is delicious. It's short, clear, and very common in English.
7. Terrified. Use this instead of very scared. It's more emotional and accurate.
Example, she was terrified during the storm. It adds depth to the sentence.
8. Freezing. Use it instead of very cold.
Example, it's freezing outside today. You'll sound like a native speaker.
9. Hilarious. This replaces very funny.
Example, that show was hilarious. It adds more energy and color to your language.
10. Furious. Instead of very angry, say furious.
Example, he was furious when he heard the news. It sounds strong and vivid.
These 10 words can dramatically change how your English sounds. Just by using them, you'll feel more confident, and people will notice the improvement.
And the best part is, you already understand the meaning. You're just upgrading your vocabulary and avoiding weak expressions. In the next part, we'll explain why this small change makes a big difference in your English journey.
One of the biggest benefits of using these advanced but simple words is how they instantly elevate your English. You'll go from sounding like a beginner to someone who's clearly confident and familiar with natural, everyday English.
When you replace common phrases like very big or very tired with stronger words like huge or exhausted, you're not just improving your vocabulary, you're showing that you truly understand how English works in real conversations.
Another huge benefit is clarity. These words make your speech more specific and expressive. Instead of just saying something is very good, words like amazing or delicious tell your listener exactly how you feel, making your message clearer and more engaging.
Plus, these words are easy to remember and fun to use. Once you start using them in your daily speech, you'll notice how quickly they become part of your natural vocabulary. You'll feel more confident every time you speak, and others will notice your progress too.
Also, you'll save time and sound more natural. Native speakers tend to use single, powerful words instead of long phrases. So by saying furious instead of very angry, you're being more efficient with your language while still expressing yourself better.
Using these words also helps your listening skills. When you're familiar with words like freezing or hilarious, you'll understand native speakers more easily. These words appear often in movies, shows, and conversations, so you'll start catching them everywhere.
It's also incredibly motivating. When you notice yourself using stronger, more fluent English, it boosts your confidence and keeps you going. Every time someone says, "Wow, your English is great," it reinforces your desire to keep improving.
Another benefit is how much more professional and educated you'll sound in job interviews, meetings, or presentations. Speaking with more precise vocabulary shows that you've invested in your language skills and that you can communicate clearly.
These words can also help with writing. Whether you're writing emails, essays, or social media posts, using richer vocabulary adds depth and personality to your message. It makes your writing more engaging and memorable to the reader.
And finally, it just feels good. You're not just memorizing new words, you're becoming more fluent, more expressive, and more confident in your ability to communicate in English. That's something to be proud of. You're growing every single day.
To start using these words, the first step is to be aware of them. Begin by writing down the words we've discussed and make sure you understand their meanings. This is crucial because knowing the meaning allows you to use them confidently in conversation.
Next, create a list of sentences using these words. For example, if you've learned the word exhausted, write several sentences where it fits naturally, like, "I'm exhausted after that long meeting," or "She looked exhausted after the workout."
Practice makes perfect, so make sure to use these words in your everyday speech. The more you use them, the more natural they will become. Don't be afraid to mix them into conversations with friends, family, or even in your online chats.
Another great way to practice is by listening to native speakers. Watch movies, TV shows, or podcasts where you can hear how these words are used in context. Pay close attention to the situations in which they're used to better understand their nuances.
You can also try shadowing. This means repeating after a native speaker while they say a sentence. For example, if you hear, "I'm absolutely thrilled to be here," repeat the sentence exactly as it's spoken. It will help you get used to the rhythm and tone.
Don't forget to read aloud. Find a book or article that interests you and read it out loud. Whenever you come across a word you've learned, practice saying it aloud. This helps with pronunciation and makes the word feel more natural when you speak.
One way to make practicing more enjoyable is to turn it into a game. Challenge yourself to use as many of the new words in one conversation as you can. You could also do this with a language partner or in a study group and give each other points for using new words correctly.
Another method is to write short stories or diary entries using these words. Not only does this practice your writing, but it also gives you a chance to reflect on the words and how they fit into different contexts. It's a great way to improve both your writing and speaking skills.
Keep track of your progress. Write down how many new words you've learned and set goals for yourself. For example, try to learn and use 5 new words every week. As you see the progress you're making, it will motivate you to continue.
Lastly, be patient and persistent. Learning new words takes time, and it's okay to make mistakes. The key is to keep practicing and stay consistent. Soon, these words will be second nature, and you'll be speaking more fluently than ever.
One common mistake when learning new words is using them incorrectly. For example, you might try to use the word literally when it doesn't fit. Instead of saying, "I literally died of laughter," ask yourself, "Is this really true?" Make sure the word fits the context.
Another mistake is overusing certain words, like really or very. While these are useful, if you rely on them too much, your speech can sound repetitive and less fluent. Try to replace them with more precise words like exhausted instead of really tired.
Don't be afraid to mix up the order of your words. English allows flexibility in how sentences are structured, but if you overthink every sentence, you might end up translating word for word from your native language. This can lead to unnatural phrasing.
Also, remember that some words can have multiple meanings depending on the context. For instance, literally can mean in a literal sense, but it can also be used for emphasis. Be cautious of how you use these words and pay attention to the surrounding context.
Another mistake is trying to sound too formal all the time. Sometimes we try to impress others with big words, but this can make us sound unnatural. Instead, focus on sounding natural and conversational while still expanding your vocabulary.
One of the biggest errors learners make is not practicing these words enough. Knowing a word's meaning is only the first step. You need to actively use these words in conversations, writing, and listening exercises to fully absorb them and use them confidently.
Be careful of using words in isolation. Sometimes learners memorize words but don't practice them in sentences or conversations. This leads to the mistake of knowing the word, but not being able to use it properly in real situations. Always practice with context.
Mispronunciation is also a common issue. Words like specific or exhausted may seem easy to pronounce, but many learners tend to make small mistakes. Listening to native speakers and repeating after them can help you improve your pronunciation.
Another common error is translating words from your native language into English directly. For example, you may try to use borrow when you should be using lend or help when assist fits better. The more you expose yourself to native English, the more you'll avoid these mistakes.
Lastly, don't expect immediate perfection. Everyone makes mistakes, and it's part of the learning process. If you use a word incorrectly or struggle with pronunciation, just keep going. The more you practice, the fewer mistakes you'll make over time.
Now that you've learned these words and how to avoid common mistakes, let's set a challenge for you. Start by choosing 3 of the words we've discussed today and use them in your next conversation in English. It can be with a friend, a colleague, or even online.
To make it even more effective, try writing down at least 5 sentences using those 3 words. Don't just focus on one-word usage. Incorporate them into full, meaningful sentences. This will help you practice and get comfortable using the words naturally.
I challenge you to take this a step further. Record yourself speaking while using these words in context. Play back the recording and listen for areas where you can improve. It's a great way to self-assess and notice things you might not realize during conversation.
And don't forget to set small goals. For example, aim to use one of these words in every conversation you have for the next week. Even if you're just practicing with yourself, speaking aloud will build your confidence and help your brain make connections.
Consistency is key. Make this a daily habit. Start your day by thinking about a new word you want to focus on, then make it a point to use it throughout the day. Whether in speaking or writing, the more you practice, the more fluent you'll become.
You can also try learning in context. Instead of memorizing words in isolation, watch videos or listen to podcasts in English. Notice how native speakers use these words in different contexts and pay attention to their tone and pronunciation.
If you're struggling to find opportunities to practice, try using language exchange apps. These platforms connect you with people around the world, giving you the chance to speak and learn new vocabulary in real-life conversations.
And remember, practicing vocabulary isn't just about quantity, it's about quality. It's better to know a few words really well than to learn a bunch without fully understanding them. So focus on mastering a smaller set and then move on to new words.
One final tip is to surround yourself with English as much as possible. Read books, watch movies, listen to music, whatever helps you immerse yourself in the language. The more you expose yourself to English, the faster you'll notice improvement.
So the challenge is clear. Practice every day, keep using the words, and take note of your progress. Share your results with us in the comments. Let us know how you've been using these words and how it's been helping your fluency. Keep up the great work.
So, to quickly recap, today we've discussed 10 powerful words that can instantly boost your vocabulary and make you sound more fluent in English. We went through how each word works, how to use them in context, and some helpful tips for practicing them every day.
We also challenged you to start using these words in your conversations. Write them down and record yourself. This will help you gain confidence and make these words a natural part of your language skills. Keep practicing and incorporating them into daily conversations.
We want to hear from you. Share in the comments what challenges you've faced when using these words or how they've helped you in your journey to fluency. Your feedback will not only help us improve, but also inspire others to keep going.
If you've made it this far, it shows that you're truly committed to improving your English fluency. We'd love to know you've stuck with us until the end. Comment "Boost" to let us know you're ready to take your English to the next level.
Don't forget to hit the like button if you found this video helpful, and subscribe to the channel if you want more content like this. We release new tips and strategies every week to help you on your English learning journey.
Thank you so much for listening and joining us today. Keep practicing, stay consistent, and remember, language learning is a marathon, not a sprint. We'll be here to guide you every step of the way. See you in the next episode.